Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation. Malakasa boy, this is my resident.
Hello, Embracing Arms community. Welcome back to another episode of Your Best Life with Dr. Hairston and a 5-minute quickie. I've been receiving a lot of requests over the past couple weeks regarding creating a video clip that's focused on goal setting. So I'm coming to you to share some really quick tips around setting your goals. Can you get excited about that? Because I get excited about setting goals. If you really want to deep dive in this conversation, please visit my website at embracingarms.com. And we'll have a workshop available for you to register for, and it'll be a little longer. But for the purpose of this, we're just going to touch on a few points. So, I've done some research on setting goals, and I've come up with some things that I think would be helpful as we're kind of moving forward with setting goals. And even for me, I need it every day, constant reminder. The first thing I want you to remember is that it has to be something that motivates you, not someone else. Not because someone else think you're good at it, not because someone else think you should do it, not because you've done it well in the past. It has to be something that motivates you, something that is a I must do this thing type of motivate you, and not, well, I got to do it because someone else thinks that I'm good at it. So I want you to write down what it is that motivates you. What is it? What is that thing that gets you fired up? Write that down, commit to it. That's the first thing I want to remind you to do. And the why behind it. Simon Sinek, who's an amazing author, motivational speaker that I follow daily, talks about the why. And so it's not the thing that you're doing, it's the why behind it. So when you identify that thing that motivates you, you also need to identify the why behind it motivating you, because that will help you stick to it, really having a good understanding of that. The other thing is those SMART goals. I know you guys heard it over and over again. People saying SMART goals, you got to write down SMART goals, and it become annoying, right? But it's real, right? So SMART goals, we're looking at the acronym SMART, specific goals, measurable goals, goals that are achievable, goals that are relatable, or things that's relative for today, those things that are time bound. Like, think about your goals. That's that goal, that thing that fires you up, that motivates you, the thing that you have an amazing why attached to it, and then start writing them down. Write down the specific thing. So it's not specific to say, I want to change the world. That's very broad, right? Change the world. So very specific is, I want to change how I do business in my home. I want to change my attitude towards how I manage my household. The next step would be, I want to change how people engage with one another out in the community, right? So those are very specific things, right, that will get you to that changing the world. And so we want to manage it well, something that can be measurable. When do you want to have that done by, and how much of that community do you want to change? And how many people in your family do you want to motivate to change their behavior? So measuring it. So by June of 2021, I would like to have at least one person in my home who learns how to cook, right? So that's something that's measurable, something that's attainable. Is there people in your home that want to cook? It's hard to achieve that goal if you have people that are resistant. And the other thing is the relevancy behind it. Why? Is there something going on in your home that you need more people to learn how to cook? You need to write that down. And then something that's time bound. Don't say in the next 10, 15 years, really start thinking about those short-term goals as well as those long-term goals, because sometimes we push it off so far away that it's easy for you to slack off. So just remember those SMART goals, and we'll talk a little bit more about that if you join me for a deep dive. Set your goals in writing. That's the other thing that I want to share with you. If you're not writing all of this down, if you're just thinking about it, if you're not having conversations with people who may have achieved a similar goal, chances are it's going to be harder for you to actually achieve it. Find you a journal, go into the local bookstore or go into Target, get you a nice little journal. Write down your vision for your goals. Write down the why that you have associated with that goal. Write down those SMART, plan, the specific, the measurable, the attainable, the relevant, the time bound. Write all of that in your book and keep revisiting that thing. And then surround yourself with people who may have achieved that goal so they can give you some continual coaching and tips to help you get to that next thing. Oftentimes we don't want to tell people about the goal because we're afraid that they're going to break it down and disrupt it and block your ability to achieve. That could be the case. There are some people that just don't want to see you be successful. But if you know that there are people out there that's doing the thing that you're doing, you got to be open and vulnerable enough to receive it, because they may be giving you feedback that you need to get to rethink the direction of your goal. And then the other thing is make an action plan for it. A monthly, a weekly, little things that you need to do to slowly achieve those goals. What is that action plan? What does that action plan look like? It is so much easier to achieve your goals if you have an action plan that have milestones set in there. So if your goal is to have one person in your home learn how to cook by June 2021, then what is that action plan that you have between now and 30 days from now? Maybe it is, that person actually read a recipe, or that person, you give that person a cookbook, or that person sit in your kitchen with you and watch you cook something. Those small little milestones, that will build up that anticipation for the big thing, in June 2021. So making an action plan and then stick with it, right? Whatever that goal is, be consistent, stick with it, hold yourself accountable. And that's why the note-taking, writing things in a book will help you to hold yourself accountable. And then surround yourself with people that will also hold you accountable. So those are some of those like golden rules that I've learned and reading, different articles and connecting with people who are motivating me to achieve my goals. Quick message. I know that, you want more time to talk about it, but we can continue to have this conversation. Just visit me on my website. We can do a deep dive with that. www.embracingarms.com. Until next time, go out in the community and embrace someone because they're waiting on you, and continue to live your absolute best life.
My La Casa boy, this is my residence. My prescription boy, this is my medicine. The world can be sickening, living in house resemblance. Not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lowest age bracket committing the highest rate of crime.